Hello everybody, my name's Gamers101 and the footage you're watching in the background is from a new and up-and-coming game called Battalion 1944. Now we all know that it doesn't look too great, but have a look in the left bottom hand corner. This is all early prototype gameplay. This footage is actually released 10 months ago, so the quality of the game has arisen dramatically. It's been very much polished and it's a lot better. Now, the reason this video is titled The Next Call of Duty World at War 2 is because this game takes so much inspiration from Call of Duty number 2 and Call of Duty World at War. It's insane. It's awesome, and the game developers' reasoning behind the game is literally, we wanted a World War 2 game right now and there are none around, so why shouldn't we build it ourselves? And this is a small indie studio, but they're talking a lot with Xbox and talking a lot with bigger companies about how they can improve the game and how they can get it released. So this game will be available on PlayStation 4, Xbox and PC. The early alpha will come out in May 2017 for PC, so all Steam users will be able to test it out. And definitely when this comes out, I'll be telling you guys how I feel about this game, because as you can see, it doesn't look too amazing, but this was released 10 months ago. It's early prototype gameplay. It's the second build that was ever made, 0.02. So you can definitely see the inspiration it's taken from World at War. And now, I know I definitely play World at War a lot. I play it even now, and it's still amazing. The quality of the content is great enough. It's not always about how good it looks, but the game is stunning itself now. There's this footage that you'll first see in this first bit is all from 10 months ago, and then there's a little bit of new sort of cinematic footage that they released like 6 months ago, and then you can see how the textures have been updated to look a lot nicer. But I don't even think it's about the texture filling, it's just about the scenario, because I really want a balanced game, a fun game set in World War II that I can play with my friends. And I think even that, with these textures that they had 10 months ago, the game would have been absolutely fine for me to purchase. It's absolutely awesome that we're finally getting another game during World War II. Battlefield 1 has refreshed it with World War 1, now let's push on to World War 2. So what is the timeline of the game? So as they started the pre-alpha Kickstarter, they're going to have the pre-alpha, which is the current state of the game, which was obviously back then. Now, we're actually at the beta stage nearly, because the early access Battalion is going to be in only 2 or 3 months time, so that's a bit of where we are on the retail and early access release. Now, how their money is being used for the development plan. So you can see here in this pie graph, they're going to use it 60% for development, 10% for audio, 7.5% for server hosting and anti-cheat, and 10% for balancing and 10% for taxes, and 2.5% for Kickstarter fees. So that's very, very smart that they've shared us with that, because, you know, we deserve to know if we're going to pay for it. And they have a team of about 20 people, so they have quite a relatively big studio for the game size that they're making. But now onto what it actually is. So what is Battalion 1944? Now, Battalion 1944 recaptures the core classic multiplayer shooters and propels World War II into the next generation. So, Battalion 1944 utilizes the most advanced industry technology to create a visceral and heart-thumping multiplayer experience that has been crafted by designers who have grown up playing Medal of Honor and Call of Duty 2. So we've got actually a couple of game dev people who worked on those titles to fight and generate this amazing content onto the game. So fighting in real-world locations such as the streets of Canatan, Bastogne, and more unspiritual successor to great multiplayer shooters of the past, precise aim with your Kar 98 or cover with your M1 Garand, and quick thinking with your Thompson are key to your success. So it's set in, obviously, Battalion 1944. It's an infantry-based first-person shooter with emphasis on raw skill, so there's no grinding, no exosuits, and you just all your skill. Now, they're going to add, they already have full-time community managers and enhanced particle effects since the latest content. They've got a boot camp map, a D-Day map, and they've got all these competitive game modes that they're adding. They're adding a lot more cosmetics, and when the game's released, they'll also be adding Russian Army DLC. And when the game releases, there's not just going to have only multiplayer, which they have right now, but they're going to introduce the Pacific Theater game mode, the single-player campaign, and offline behind enemies mode. So you guys can actually go ahead and help them on their Kickstarter. They're already a lot in development. They estimated delivery of the game will be May 2017, but you can pledge money to get keys of the game, and you can get so many awesome digital art books and just beautiful, beautiful artwork and things like that. So the main things that I'm really interested in the game that brings it back to World War II, obviously the setting and the battlefield realistic environment. So it's incredibly talented art that has been propelled from the World War II scenario, and I really want to see that projected onto the big screen. And Remember, I actually think this can be a AAA title if done correctly, but of course I haven't played the game myself, so I can't really say that. But I've had a look and talked to the developers at the maps, and it's tight and focused on competitive map making. The cosmetic progression system also is not under any circumstances offering game-breaking advantages, so the players of highest rank instead will offer purely cosmetic based unlock system, which is awesome. Means that, you know, the better you get, you won't be overly overpowered, and it will still remain skill, because you could put 100 hours into the game and still be absolutely terrible, or you could put 100 hours into the game and be great, and your skill level will reflect that, and that, I think, that will really keep the authentic World War II experience. And also another unique thing is you can fight together as a platoon, which is kind of as a Battlefield 1 squad mechanic. You can team up with your friends and create a platoon, but you can kind of design your platoon as well, which is awesome. And if you do well enough, you can become a recognized platoon within the battalion, and your platoon known for being like the deadliest, most effective, or the most active platoon, and you can get unique rewards and raising the bar of competition from that, which is really awesome, because the Battlefield 1 squad thing is kind of like, yeah, you team up with your friends, but there's nothing more to it. So I think that's a really awesome idea as a platoon. Also, your own unique arsenal. Now, they had a research trip to Normandy, which they noticed that most soldiers had actually engraved names into their rifles. Players will be able to customize their weapons and their own play character with that same level of individuality, and you can make a real connection to the personalized arsenal and, of course, the game, which is what they're hoping to achieve. So there's no going to be stupid skins, but you are going to be able to customize your weapons quite awesomely, and that's something they really did do, so that's really awesome. Now, also your character, your soldier's character, it's really unique to your character, because you can change how other players see you and become more recognizable within the community. You can use those comedic unlocks that we talked about later to reward you for your skill to define your character. Also, the awesome thing is there will be LAN support. So too many modern games leave out the simple LAN support, so that means you'll be able to play with your friends, which is just something quite small and awesome. The animation has been improved to movie quality. There's going to be a lot more reliable server hosting, persistent anti-cheat system, community-driven development, and of course the gameplay just looks amazing. So I want to thank you all for watching. Tell me what you think about the game below, because there's going to be competition and scores and everything as well, so there's lots of reasons to fight in this game. I mean, there's medals and rewards, the platoon system, competitions, battalion systems, and of course the extra things you can get from pledging to them. So guys, I want to thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, check out the game below, and tell me what you think. Should this be the next Call of Duty World at War?